Plan Street was to kind of centralize all of our information that we had for, as you heard, we have a lot of different programs, and we wanted to centralize all that information in a way that made sense, that had some workflow management built into it, so that we would, first of all, more consistently take every person who came into whatever program through the right steps as per the program agreement and what we have agreed to do for them. So that allowed us to streamline all of that, and it also allowed us to keep everything centralized. So great story. When we got monitored recently. Monitored is when our funding source comes in and kind of opens the books up, goes through the files, looks through everything. One of the things that we were able to do, thanks to Plan Street, was to create a link that had all of the files, all the client files that they wanted to see inside of it. We were able to share it with that monitoring source, and they were able to do that without coming to our office, without sitting at a table in our conference room and looking through physical documents. They were able to see all that right there on their laptop, and they thought it was the best thing ever. So I mean, that was awesome. The idea is to streamline this stuff so that we can spend more time providing these crucial programs and less time, dotting I's and crossing T's, which Plan Street allows us to do. Having built out this workflow, we now know that when we bring a client through Plan Street, when we close that case out, all of those required documentation from first referral to actually closing the case, we know that everything's going to be there, and that's huge. That's huge. Before we were managing it in so many different ways. Each program coordinator with Life Connections kind of had their own way that they kept that information. And yes, while it's been a learning curve for them to figure out how to use Plan Street, it's been so beneficial for us to have all of the information come into one spot. We don't lose client files. We don't anybody on the administration side can get on the computer and look at progress. And then the other thing that we're working very diligently in building into our Plan Street implementation is evaluation. Evaluation is absolutely critical to our success as an organization moving forward, especially trying to raise unrestricted funds from individual donors and corporations. People want to know, how do you know what you're doing is effective? And through what we're building into Plan Street, when we get done adding the evaluation component, we're going to be able to click a couple buttons and get reports run that say, these are the numbers. And it will help us evaluate. It will also help us make assessments. If we see an area where a certain program is underperforming, we can stop and we can ask ourselves, why is it underperforming? And before, I mean, you really, to perform that successfully, you really had to kind of like go to a program coordinator and take a deep dive through the system. And now you kind of get this, maybe 15,000 feet perspective that allows you to, maybe more quickly address the area that is concerning. Mm-hmm. And so we love it. We think it's fantastic.